Hello and welcome to this week's review of legislative activities across state houses of assembly on the program from the state assemblies. On this week's review, 5 state assemblies considered 2024 supplementary budgets. Anambra State House of Assembly summoned oil company in Ogbaru. Plus, Cross River State House of Assembly adopted motion for establishment of parliamentary and political museum. Details of these and many more stories will be coming your way shortly. I am NTA Ojonugba, your host. Don't go away. Welcome back as we begin with Sokoto, where there was a significant development from the House of Assembly as it considered the proposed 2024 supplementary budget of over 119 billion naira, which passed first and second readings at the House. Nuruddin Adili sent the reports.
The proposed 2024 supplementary budget is estimated at the sum of 119,532,687,732 naira 21 kobo. The letter sent by the state governor indicated that there is need to carry out some modification in the budgetary provision to accommodate additional incomes and earnings of all the projected revenue in the state's budget. This informed Governor Ahmad Aliu Sokoto to seek for the approval of the legislature. The majority leader of the House, Muhammad Bello Idris, who sheds light on the supplementary budget, expressed the hope that if passed, it will ensure execution of more developmental projects across the state. The Speaker, Tukur Bala Bodinga, announced the House unanimous resolve to refer the matter to the Committee of Appropriation for further legislative process and report back. In another development, the two executive bills also sent by the state government have also passed first and second readings on the floor of the House. Among the bills sent were a bill for a law to further amend the Sokoto State High Court Law, Cap 60, Laws of the State 1996, and for the purposes connected therewith, and a bill for a law to amend Sokoto State Sharia Court of Appeal Law, Cap 133, Laws of the Sokoto State 1996, and for the purposes connected therewith. If amended, it will enhance the smooth running of the judiciary's responsibility in the state.
Still on budgetary matters, the Lagos State House of Assembly adopted a report of the House Committee on Economic Planning and Budgeting for the amendment of the 2024 appropriations of over 2 trillion naira. This was at plenary, where the recording of the budget was announced in line with a request sent to the House by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Musa Toilat filed the report.
The 2024 appropriation bill passed by the Assembly was 2,967,976,120,869 naira. However, a letter sent to the House of Assembly by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu dated August 9, 2024 requested legislators to reorder the budget so that recurring expenditure is reduced to pave way for increment in capital expenditure.
The committee invited officials of the Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget, Finance, State Treasury, and Debt Management Office to shed more light on the governor's request. The Commissioner for Finance informed that the recent deregulation of the foreign exchange market affected the budgetary projection of the state, which made it expedient for the state to look inward in order to meet up with the state's policy thrust.
What the people wanted is that more money should be put in for capital expenditure. And I think the chairman of the economic planning and budgeting and member of the committee has done so well in tandem with what is here.
Speaker Lagos House of Assembly Mudashiru Obasa thereafter announced the outcome of the amendments to the Appropriation Bill 2024.
The grand total of 935,377,028,421 naira for the current expenditure. 1,332,599,92,447 naira for capital stamp as part of the schedule. All in favor say aye.
The action of the House of Assembly underscores the cordial relationship between the executive and the legislature for good governance to thrive across the metropolis. The total budget size remains the same.
Now to education. And in the week under review, the Cross River State House of Assembly adopted a motion for the establishment of Parliamentary and Political Museum in the state to serve as center for the preservation of information and records of the legacies of legislators. Uduak Etim filed the report.
A motion brought before the Cross River State House of Assembly by member representing Calabar South 2 constituency Victor Nsa stressed the need to establish parliamentary and political museum in the state. This, he said, will serve as a reference center for the storage of political parliamentary information and also support research on history of the state democracy.
The establishment of this center will help to collect, conserve and regularly exhibit materials related to the issue of parliamentarian and statesmen who have made significant contribution to it.
Members of the 10th Assembly, while reacting, highlighted the importance of Parliamentary Political Museum in the state, noting that it will keep records of the legacies of legislators.
Institution to, refresh my memories as well, and the library, the museum, and those institutions. And therefore, align myself with what I said previously, and appeal that this motion be a swift passage.
Speaker, it is important that we know who is who in the state. Recently, we asked students, thank God that this history and the property are curriculum now. She asked the student who was the first military administrator of the state, they did not know, or who is the first political governor of the state, they don't know. So, if the record kept properly, it will help us to track record on those who have achieved this.
To anywhere where the museum will establish, I will see my friend. This was my grandfather, my great-grandfather, who was in the 10th Assembly in Cross River State.
This museum is finally established. History will remain. History is dying daily. I am saying this because I have the privilege of belonging to that sector that was part of governance in this place.
The House resolved that the state government should establish a parliamentary political museum as a warehouse for the political parliamentary heritage in Cross River State.
Elsewhere, a motion urging the executive arm of the Niger State government to relocate the College of Education MENA to Suleja in order to address the paucity of tertiary institutions there was passed by the Assembly. Musa Mikael reported that the House also received motion of urgent public importance seeking the intervention of the federal government to complete construction of Badagi-Agei Federal Road.
The motion, sponsored by a member representing Suleja constituency, Murtala Adamu Badaru, calling on the executive arm of government to relocate College of Education MENA to Suleja in order to address lack of any tertiary institution in Suleja Emirate, and also encourage students' enrollment in school, as well as mitigate the menace of out-of-school children in the area. The member said relocating College of Education MENA to Suleja will not only ease difficulties faced by his constituents who lack the financial strength of sponsoring their works to schools outside the area, but will also bring about accessibility.
Upon all this sacrifice, the third majority of our landmark was also given out to Abuja as a mark of respect and solidarity. Yet, we don't have one single higher institution of learning.
The motion was, however, opposed by other lawmakers.
Why won't my colleagues
move a motion calling on the state government to establish a new COE, because if you said you should move COE back to Suleja, you still need to make a lot of constructions.
We have IBB, we have this, we have that. Why more power? But by the time I got home, I actually realized that it was one of the best decisions we can make in the state.
It's not going to be fair. There are two interests, or three interests. And by adopting this motion, it means Chakani Aggie has been pushed aside.
The executive arm of Niger state government to relocate College of Education Mina to Suleja in order to address the paucity of tertiary institutions in Suleja Emirate, encourage student enrollment in schools as well as mitigate the menace of out-of-school children. Those in support say aye. Aye. Those against say nay.
That's exactly what I want to understand.
After much debate, the motion for the relocation was passed by the House. The member representing Kasha constituency, Abdul Malik Bala Yakub, in a matter of urgent public attention, appealed that the state government should seek the federal government's attention towards completing the ongoing construction of Lapai Age Federal Road.
If no urgent positive steps are taken to conclude the construction of this road, which has since been abandoned by the contractors, similar or even more sinister incidents may reoccur.
The House also received a private member bill for a law to provide for the establishment of Niger State Sports Commission and for other related matters.
Similarly, the Lagos State House of Assembly asked the state government to establish sexual and gender-based violence units in schools to carry out advocacy on the menace to young population in the states. This was the resolution adopted at plenary, presided over by the Speaker, Mudashiru Obasa. Musa Toliat again filed the report.
The plenary on the floor of the Lagos House of Assembly is focused on the need for sustained awareness and proactive approach to addressing sexual and gender-based violence in the state.
Advocacy is not just beyond beating and killing and preventing. We're talking about the need of guidance and counseling for each and everyone, from our primary school to secondary school to university level, and also to engage other ministries and NTAs to ensure that these things are carried out appropriately.
Speaker, Lagos House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, stressed the need to establish domestic and gender-based violence units in schools so that the young population can have requisite information to guard against the menace.
So I think it's a very big issue that we must encourage the government to play a role. I think from a discussion earlier on this point that we should start understanding people are not engaging our children, right from primary school, secondary school up to university.
Some legislators want stiffer penalties for perpetrators of gender-based violence to create a strong deterrence.
There's need for the community to be encouraged to be involved in programs, especially when it comes to response in gender-based violence.
So that the more people will come and report their enforcement begin. But while enforcing as well, we have infrastructure, money has to be infrastructure.
We must be able to support survivors of such incidents and make sure the entire society is with them.
Others want the state government to strengthen the existing agency on sexual and gender-based violence to protect victims and ensure speedy prosecution of perpetrators.
When you have the punishment and also have the option of fine, it's going to water down that punishment.
The month of September is designated as Sexual and Gender-Based Violence Awareness Month in Lagos State.
You are watching the program from the State Assemblies, where we review developments in state legislative houses across Nigeria. We'll be back with more reports after this break. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. You can watch this episode as well as news and other programs on our social media handles scrolling on your screen. Talking health matters. The Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly in the week under review called on Governor Umo Eno to direct relevant ministries and agencies to procure important diagnostic hospital equipment for the safety of lives in the state. Nsikak Okong reported that these came under the matters of urgent public importance raised at plenary.
Moses Essien, who is also chairman House Committee on Health, emphasized the importance of diagnostic equipment for secondary healthcare institutions, saying these instruments will help healthcare providers to diagnose medical conditions. He noted with regret the lack of this equipment in public health institutions, which he says have contributed to medical setback, including delayed recovery, over and under treatment of patients, waste of finances on wrong medication and treatment, among others.
Many family members, friends, and significant others for victims of preventable and treatable medical and surgical conditions. Recognizing the consequences of this sad reality, I hereby move that this honorable House pass a resolution that the House resolved for His Excellency, Pastor Moino, the Executive Governor of Kano State, to direct the procurement of vital health equipment to save our citizens from sudden death.
After due deliberations on the matter, the Speaker of the Moton directed the Clerk of the House, Nsika Kabong Orok, to communicate the resolution to the Governor for the procurement of vital hospital equipment to all public health institutions in the state.
By the grace of God, we have the secondary healthcare facilities that are working in all these central districts. So, His Excellency, the Governor, we know, is very passionate about the healthcare of our people who do so. So, the Clerk of the House, right, His Excellency. Thank you.
Meanwhile, the House has expressed worry over the dilapidated structure of Ibom Hotel and Golf Resort, which has been the only state-owned facility that provides world-class hospitality and recreational services to the public.
In Minna, the proliferation of private clinics as well as schools of health technology in Niger State has remained a source of concern for stakeholders in the health sector. It is in this regard that the House Standing Committee on Health and Nutrition held a one-day public hearing on a bill to regulate private clinics and schools of health in the state. Musa Mikael takes it from here.
The two bills, which have both scaled second readings and undergoing stakeholders' input for its harmonization in order to avoid duplication, are both private member bills, sponsored by members representing Payeko constituency, Omar Nasir, and that of Lapai, Idris Musabata. The first bill seeks to provide for an agency for the registration and regulation of private health care facilities in the state, while the second bill seeks to regulate schools of health care minimum standard so as to provide for basic standard to be observed by operators of private schools of health in the state.
In the state, a lot of our people still access healthcare through the private health establishments, be them primary healthcare facilities, clinics, hospitals, patent medicine stores, pharmacies, medical laboratory, and even scanning or radiological centers. So it is important that our people get the best quality while they access those services at those facilities.
We got a full submission by the various stakeholders we invited for this particular public hearing. We gave everybody the chance to present his own opinion in respect to these bills, and they have given us, and we have given them a deadline to submit the hard copy so that we can sit harmonize the individual submission to come up with a final report.
Speaker Abdul Malik Sarkindaji emphasized the importance of the two bills, adding that if passed into law and ascended to, will address issues of quackery in the medical profession, which has increased morbidity and mortality rates in the state.
A department, not even within the Ministry of Health, that is saddled with the responsibility of checkmating the excesses or the existence or the establishment or the operation of private clinics across the state. It is just not possible. These bills should come to see the light of the day. That is exactly what we're going to adopt.
The committee will be collecting recommendations from stakeholders in the health industry for suitable mechanism that will regulate the conduct and affairs of private health facilities across the state.
The Sokoto State House of Assembly, in the week under review, moved a motion calling on the state government to construct drainage systems and rehabilitate some roads in Akila area of the metropolis. This is to ease movement of residents and commuters plying the road. Nuruddin Adili sent in the report.
Flood has continued to be a source of worry in almost every state of the Federation, Sokoto inclusive. Many local governments in the state and metropolis are seriously affected by the flood. The inhabitants of Arkilla Magaji, Arkilla Liman, Nasarawa, and Arkilla Federal Locust, all in Wamoko local government, are concerned by the lack of drainage system that makes it difficult for easy flow of water. The persistent being experienced in recent days resulted to flood that affect about which require urgent rehabilitation and construct drainage system along this road to facilitate smooth flow of water during rainy season. It is against this backdrop that member representing Wamoko constituency Abubakar Lamido presented a motion on the floor of the House calling on the state government to consider the construction of drainage system and rehabilitation of these roads in these areas.
In view of the above, I'm appealing to this honorable House to call on the state government to consider the construction of drainage and rehabilitation of road in Arkilla Magaji, Arkilla Liman, Nasarawa, and Federal Locust, all in Wamoko local government.
On the other matters, as education remains the backbone for the development of any society, member representing the Ngishuni constituency Siraju Muhammad Shuni moved a motion on the floor of the House calling on the state government to upgrade junior secondary schools Chefe and Ilela Gajara to status of senior secondary schools. The member noted that the population of these towns are multiplying, hence the need to upgrade the schools to avoid congestion and dropping out of school due to lack of senior sections in these schools.
If the junior secondary schools are upgraded to the status of senior secondary schools, it will reduce truancy and the number of dropouts, thereby raising the standard of education in the inhabitants of Chefe and Ilela Gajara and the neighboring communities.
The Speaker, Chukwubala Bodinga, announced the House unanimous resolve to call on the state government to look at the possibilities of construction of drainage system and the rehabilitation of roads in Arkilla area of Wamoko and to upgrade these junior secondary schools in the Ngishuni local government for the benefit of the people.
In Anambra, the State House of Assembly summoned and interrogated an oil company in Ogbaru local government area following allegations of lack of compliance to the Petroleum Industry Act leveled against the oil company by host communities. Daniel Upai sent in the report.
Ogugbele and Oguanocha are the last two communities in Ogbaru local government area of Anambra State which share common boundaries with Rivers, Imo and Delta states. These communities lack most of the facilities such as access roads, potable water, electricity, health facilities, and others which define a habitable society. Yet, these are some of the communities blessed with crude oil and have put Anambra in the Committee of Oil-Producing States in Nigeria. For more than 10 years, oil exploration activities have been ongoing in these communities, and the goods of the land is allegedly being plundered, with thousands of barrels of crude oil unaccounted for in the midst of environmental degradation. This prompted a visit by the Anambra State House of Assembly Committee on Petroleum and Mineral Resources, led by the chairman, Honorable Chidi Ibemeka, member representing Njikoka 1 constituency, where some unpalatable discoveries were made.
All we are trying to do is to give the Anambra sense of belonging in the mineral resources being explored in our land, and as well community interest being protected, because we are lawmakers and as well the representative of people from different constituencies and communities where these oil and gas exploration companies are operating. So definitely we are speaking the mind of our people.
To further investigate the concerns of the host communities and the Anambra State government, the House, during its plenary, summoned the management of the oil company.
I just want to discuss about how best to manage the state. But in discussing that, don't bring issues, don't bring on lives here. Don't bring on lives, because we know, we people, even if we don't know, we know. We know what happened in Abuja and Nigerian, but when they set the panel of inquiry on that issue, the panel would now do the right thing on that.
Every oil company operating in any state should set up host community development trust, where they are expected to pay in 3% of their annual budget estimate, from which they will now use such fund to develop the host communities.
For us, as the people's representatives, and in performance of our oversight function, what we did is also to protect the rights of Ndanambra, right of Ndanambra to live in a good environment, right of Ndanambra to receive royalties from a company that is operating in their land.
The Assembly is requesting the Oil Exploration and Production Company to, amongst other, provide evidence of host communities development trust fund in compliance with Section 235 subsection 3 of the Petroleum Industry Act, and prove that 3% of their annual budget has been paid for the years 2022, 2023 and 2024, while submitting documentary evidences of projects executed as part of their corporate social responsibility. The Speaker, Right Honorable Somtochukwu Deze, noted that the company's appearance before the Assembly is driven by the concern over insecurity in the host communities and the need to ensure that Anambra State government benefit from the company's operation.
In Abeokuta, stakeholders in Ogun State's power sector commended the state governor, Dapo Abiodun, and the State House of Assembly for putting in place a legislation that will address the long-time energy challenge confronting residents and investors in the state. This was at a public hearing on a bill for a law to improve electricity generation, transmission, and distribution, and other related matters. Yemi Dalemo filed the report.
Stakeholders in their contributions and inputs commended Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun for bringing up the executive bill and the House of Assembly for thorough legislative duties on the bill and resolved to accord the bill the priority it deserves. To them, the legislative process will help in shaping the future of the state power sector, noting that the engineers and technicians with background in power sector should be given major roles, while also encouraging public-private partnership to guarantee the success and sustainability of the state power sector law when operational.
Our input is the Director General shall have at least 15 years public experience in any relevant engineering profession, because we are talking about engineering activities there. In any relevant engineering profession and must be current registered.
In getting the commission board, in getting the commissioners for the commission, we ensure that technical people are well represented. I also want to urge this knowledge house to ensure that we have enough protection for the consumers.
The Speaker, Oludaisi Elemide, who lamented the adverse effects of epileptic power supply on socio-economic development of the country, says the determination of the present administration in Ogun State to create efficient and effective electricity market for the state is commendable and saluted the initiative of the National Assembly for decentralizing electricity generation and related matters in the country.
The House, in line with its legislative practice and procedure, organized this forum to provide an avenue for stakeholders to participate in an elaborate discussion on the proposed bill and make recommendations for further consideration by the appropriate House committee towards ensuring that the bill has necessary impetus and legislative gradients.
This is therefore the need for us all legislators to perform our duties as required by law, to accelerate the passage of this laudable bill proposed by the present administration to address the menace of electric power supply in the state.
Lawmakers, while calling on the stakeholders to forward their memorandum to the State House of Assembly for consideration, promised accelerated hearing on the bill.
In the meantime, the Kano State House of Assembly has approved the extension of tenure of interim management officers across 44 local government areas in the state. This is sequel to a correspondence received from the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs at plenary. Samira Shira reported on these and other engagements at the House.
Earlier this year, the Kano State House of Assembly screened and confirmed nominees to be appointed as interim management officers of the 44 local government councils. However, their tenures has expired and hence the need for review.
For the extension of the tenure of interim management committee in each of the 44 local government councils in the state, following the tenure expiration of the interim management committee on the 9th September 2024.
In another development, Representative Usman Tase Abubakar from Kiru constituency has presented a motion calling on the state government to construct an irrigation channel from Turawa down to Kiru town, while his counterpart Yusuf Bella Aliyu of Nasarawa is calling for the relocation and reconstruction of Maikwatashi Secondary School to Filingida Ruak Auragoja ward.
People going to that school are from Nasarawa local government. Mr. Speaker and honorable colleagues, that school is dilapidated because of insecurity and the place is scattered. Almost all the students are not even going to that school.
Meanwhile, the need for Governor Umar Eno to review stipends of village heads in the state formed part of deliberations as lawmakers resumed plenary for the second legislative year. Nsikak Okon again filed the report.
Mr. Johnny says, as custodians of the communities who tarry day and night to ensure safety and security of lives and property of indigents of various communities, government should take proper care by improving on their welfare packages.
With all the expectation of the village head to keep our community safe, their salary does not correspond with the responsibility of the 35,000 naira given to them as the way to war and can clearly do anything for them.
Some lawmakers who spoke in support say peace and unity weaknessing in some communities is as a result of the village head's commitment and love for the people. For member representing Surubium State constituency, Otobon Bob, his view was a bit different as he emphasized that welfare of our traditional rulers should be the responsibility of the transition committee chairman based on the fact that they are closely working together for the betterment of those in rural areas.
Cost of living is too high. So for 35,000 naira estimate is just 30 liters of fuel. And it cannot take for 2 days. And so I think it's imperative we lend our support and agree to write the governor to make a review of the stipend given to our nation.
It's extremely important
that the welfare of our traditional rulers, our privileged heads, is taken into consideration, and there must be improvement in their welfare.
We as a house, through the relevant committee, should ensure that the local governments, they should ensure that villages serving in their domain, in their local governments, are adequately compensated.
The Speaker, Udemotong, comments.
You know, our Excellency is a compassionate governor. He has been doing a lot for the people of Akwa State. This one, he will not hesitate in reviewing the allowances of the village of Akwa State.
Meanwhile, a motion calling on Akwa Ibom State Governor to provide diagnostic equipment in general hospitals in the state was presented by member representing Ibioni Ibom State constituency, Moses Essien.
It is here that we bring this episode of the program from the State Assemblies to a close. Remember, you can still watch this episode as well as news and other programs on our social media handles showing on your screen. Thank you for watching and remain a patriotic Nigerian. I am Ene Ojonuba. Bye for now.